Okay guys, so got our Gurt H80 foam laid out on the table here. Just gonna cut 4-inch strips. I'll do some addition here, add up what we need in inches, and it'll be kind of a pieced in kind of thing. I don't want to have a bunch of scraps that just go to waste. So our long lengths are 63 inches. This is 87 overall. And our short lengths are 59, so it's just kind of like a mix up. It's only 40 wide, so not gonna be able to kind of optimize it in that way. Just a bit awkward. Naturally, the straight edge is a foot too short for the application here, so let's make do with what I got. Doesn't have to be precise anyways. There's a angle on one side of the hatch coaming, so we'll be shaping it to that. Alright guys, so we'll get a couple more strips cut here. We have a bandsaw. I'm going to try and see if I can cut one of these right in half a long ways. It might be pretty tough though, because these are pretty flimsy, so I'll have to get a good fence set up before attempting that, so we'll see how that goes. Okay guys, so I got chuck line and just got my measurements here, 5/8 on this end, 1/4 inch on this end, and I got a chalk line and just marked it that way. Worked pretty good. Just a quick test pass. Had to get a little fence in here. As you can see, it was off on just my start cut. It just has to be close. I'll put the cut side down against the fiberglass since it's already somewhat unlevel anyways, and then we'll put the nice new side up so that it is easier to glass down. Well, it seems to be cutting somewhat evenly. As long as my fence is in the right location, will be good. Probably gotta check it here. It's probably way off. Yeah, seems like it's okay. That's pretty good if I say so myself. Pretty happy with that. A little bit off in places, but that's alright. We'll be able to feather out the edges and flatten it, and ultimately there's going to be a rubber gasket or a neoprene gasket there that'll take up any inconsistencies. At least if it's just a small amount, under 1/4 inch is no problem. So yeah, I think I'd call that a success. Alrighty folks, so got our pieces of foam. It worked out pretty good. I got a little layer of wafers here. Now comes the task of gluing them down. I think what I'll just do is paint them out with resin and a little bit of putty and start sticking these down. And we'll probably have to figure out a way to weigh them down. Well, I guess we got plenty of buckets over there. Maybe we'll flip our hatch cover upside down and carefully set it on the coaming itself, and then put a few buckets on it to make sure these don't shift around while they cure. So that's the plan. Okay guys, so we got finished up. Tried to put the hatch in upside down just so I'd be able to see the foam there, but that didn't really work out because when you bend a plate, it kind of takes the opposite angle. It curves upwards of the way you bend it. So we flipped it back around, and the corners are still a little bit floaty. We weigh them down. At least 3 corners are making good contact, and this one is just a little bit floaty. I think it'll be fine, but at any rate, we'll let this cure off until tomorrow, probably in the afternoon. It's still a little bit cool in here in the morning, so we'll make sure that gets good and set up before we mess with it.
Well, we successfully got our plate straightened out here, I guess. Some gap here to fill, so I just got a sliver here. I think it'll come out pretty good. This was actually a pretty big gap up in here, so we put a couple of pieces of 1/4 inch. They're sticking out on the inside. I'll come back in and trim them and grind them back and weld it. A couple of spots to tidy up here, but all in all, this has turned out really well. Happy that we were able to reclaim that plate there.
Yeah, I'm glad too, because it was some effort to bend it.
Yeah, it's
4 or 5 hours.
time-consuming, and you kind of need to have this when you do it to get it close. And at that point, that was welded back in again. So just got some stuff to go back in and fill this and grind it off and blend it.
Pretty it up.
Yep. Same thing on the very back right here, but it turned out real good. I gotta come back in here and just fill in a couple of spots, and we'll grind it again and blend it all out. When it's done, it'll look similar to this, and we'll still go ahead and work that in a little bit more. After this stuff starts to oxidize, it'll be pretty hard to see anyways. So all in all, it's turned out real good. It's nice and solid, other than something rattling on the inside, a piece of strip that I need to weld in. Now at some point I'll probably bungle this and drop it in the water, and we'll have to start over again, but let's see here. Yeah, it looks good.
Nice. Yeah.
All right. A little handle to hold this.
Keep it nice and flat against the outside.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
The cool down for a hair.
Yeah.
Don't look at that big glob, guys.
Now I'm going to have to do some grinding. That's one thing about aluminum, boy. When it goes, it goes.
So he cuts into his previous weld so that the wire doesn't pile up.
All right, guys. Well, we got this outside cleaned up pretty good. There's still a few spots that need a little bit more fill and blend it out, but looks pretty good, I think. Turned out good. Feels about the same as the other side. It's got a little bit of a crink there where these plates met. It would have been nice to have this run out another 6 or 8 inches, but that's just the way it worked out as far as materials. So it's fine, happy with it. So now you can see that we got these big chunks here. So I'm gonna trim these off, back gouge this whole weld seam right here, and then we'll fill it in, get that blended up right up here, and same down here. Then we can finish out this cap rail weld, and then also get our kind of trim / transition piece in here. So yeah, this is kind of a bit of a hassle, but that was the easiest way to fill that crack. It was pretty big. It was 1/4 inch, it was a little bit more in spots, so that worked out well.
Yeah, so we just cut little pieces, and I held them in here while he zapped the outside of them.
Yeah.
Held it in a 1/8 or...
Yeah, probably about an 1/8, so we got a good tie-in on both of those plates, and then also to this. So now we'll just take a cutting disc and just zip that off, and start grinding it. All right, looks pretty good. We'll just have to use a burr to get up in there and get the last of that. Not too bad.
So you guys can see how nicely these little strips dressed up as before. Got our backing plate here with the bolts going through to the other side of the bulwark. And that becomes that. A lot cleaner. I like how it turns out anyways.
And the biggest thing is, otherwise without this you're gonna have rain and sleet and snow and ice building up in this crack in the wintertime. It's gonna expand that. It's gonna fracture the stuff, cause problems. A bunch of nasty dirt and
Fish slime.
squid juice and
Yeah.
fish slime and everything else.
So it'll be nice and clean. Just like pull the pressure washer out every once in a while and give her a good blast off. Yeah.
It really does tighten all this up too. Watch that.
All right, guys, so we about got this strip welded in along the back here. Just a couple of spots left to go, but it looks really good.
Yeah.
Quite pleased with that.
Got our butt weld cleaned up there.
Yeah, pretty exciting to get this part wrapped up.
Yeah, nice and sturdy.
Got a couple of stanchions to do, like we mentioned, over in this corner, similarly to this right here. That's just temped in, that one, but probably do a 2-post kind of thing on there to support that corner, and then we can start getting this decking back down. Coming together, coming together. Mm-hmm. Every day we get closer. So, got some gel coat mixed up here. Got our hatch coaming sanded off, prepped and ready, cleaned up. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this stuff rolling out. Just gonna do 2 coats, unwaxed and waxed. So here we go. Gotta love the first coat of gel coat because it looks so nice going down.
That it does.
I broke the roller pushing it on. It snapped off the plastic keeper ring, so now it's going to be sliding around and being annoying. And on my last roller.
Now, how exactly are you measuring this, Matt?
Oh, you know, by exact measurements and
The classic technique of eyeballing it.
yeah. Yeah, this is about halfway is 8 ounces. We've measured it before, so it's a 16-ounce cup up to like here's like 16, so about 10 ounces of gel coat right there, and usually we go for 1.5% catalyst mix, just depending. Today it's a little humid and kind of cold out today. Actually, it was 38 on the way down, or was it 32?
I think it was 32.
32 on the way down. So it's a cold spring day, April 2nd. So mix up a little hotter, get the stuff to kick off a little faster. Good to the last drop.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good, good.
No, that's not milk. Big old mess on those, but it so happens that the ends aren't gel coated, so where they got trimmed. This is all working out in the end.
It was planned.
Right.
No, it wasn't.
Always from the start. Ever since the start. I have to clean up those drippies after. Or not.
We'll see.
We'll see if I remember or care. Hey, at least I have the foresight to tape off our bin boards here, or deck boards, I mean.
Yeah. That would have been a terrible mistake.
So I know from experience that the next coat won't really show up on camera, so I guess we'll finish off here and bring you guys back once it's cured off and we can actually breathe in here.
Yep.
See you then. Alright guys, so back down the boat here, a couple days later. The gel coat looks really nice. All done, all cured off. Missed one tiny spot over there, but doesn't matter. Doesn't affect anything. It's good and hard now, so it looks really good. That's a fairly quick little mod. It's kind of funny, these little things pop up, you forget about them as far as like having to shim this hatch up and stuff, but you know, everything we do is another step closer, so I guess that's one more thing off the list. Anyways, so thank you guys for watching that little mod video there. Like I said, we're one step closer. Put that hatch back on here, and we'll get around to getting the gasket material for it a little bit later. But for now, we're gonna try and get our shop here back in order. It's in complete disarray just because we had to pull up a bunch of these boards in order to remove them, so we had better access. So I think the next order of business is to put those boards back on and try and ignore the annoying sound of the wind today. So we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.